guys, so I'm finally feeling better this week. It's been almost 20 days of me being sick. So my voice is on the mend, so I apologize for missing a vlog last week. But I've got some video footage of Johnny from the past horse show at Rocking Horse that I'll talk about. And then we have big stuff for the upcoming week, which I head down to Tallahassee for Red Hills, where Johnny will be doing the 3-star and Riot Gear will be doing the 2-star. So that will be really exciting. So look forward to some really good stuff coming your way.
So this is Johnny in our advanced test, and this is the one of the new tests for 2018. So this will be the first time we have done this one. So it's advanced test B, and as you can see, he got pretty antsy and he didn't really want to halt. So I saluted very quickly, which was interesting because the judge actually had given me an error for not saluting, but I did salute. Unfortunately, I didn't look at my test until after the event was over, so I just had to take that error and just know for next time to pick up my test a little sooner so I can have that conversation, and that could have been fixed. So anyways, back to the test. Of course, true to Johnny at Rocking Horse, he's pretty tight. It's always a balance of trying to get him to take a deep breath and to relax and to come over his back and connect. So the first shoulder in, he really wasn't. This is my next one, and he's doing a little bit better of starting to take a deep breath. And the mediums help him a little bit as well, because I can allow him to go forward. And it's pretty tricky because he kind of tries to bait you into holding him the whole time because he feels like if you are to let go that you may not stay in the arena. But he is actually trying to work pretty nicely. This is our extended trot. I've been trying to work hard on my position on trying to keep my toes in. I still need to do a little bit more work on that. And probably one of my habits of rolling my shoulders forward, which drives me nuts, which I need to practice more of. But now going into the test, we do our half pass left. He actually held that pretty well. And this was a really good test for him because it broke a lot of the movements up. So we had to do a 10-meter circle to the left. And then you have to do a 10-meter circle to the right. And he really wants to kind of just muscle through on me. So I have to do lots of half halts and give him a direction to go. And then we half pass right. Then sometimes he likes to get stuck and just do an extended trot, which he did there. And so I've moved my seat a little bit more. And then he realized he could go into the half pass. And then I was actually very proud of him for this halt. He was very good and obedient. Actually lifted one leg there, so that could have been a deduction, but backed up pretty nicely. And now we go into our walk, and he's going to be a little tight. Rocking Horse is a pretty tough atmosphere for him because there's traffic, there's horses warming up right next to our ring. There's all kinds of stuff that Johnny doesn't deem appropriate for when you do a dressage test. So now we're going into our extended walk, and of course he could reach out more with his nose a little bit longer and out. You kind of want him to take the contact. He's hiding from it a little bit, but on the other side he is walking. So with these more tense and forward horses in the dressage test, you have to not let the nerves get the best of you. You saw I rubbed him there. For me, this is a practice test for him. So the more I can get him to relax, I don't really mind doing things because the bigger picture is the 4-star at Kentucky. So now we go into a medium across the diagonal, and those can always be, the first one is always a little tough because he's always pretty game to go. And then we do a flying change at A. I was maybe a touch late in the accuracy part. It's supposed to be directly at A, which your leg is supposed to be where the movement changes, but it was nice and clean. We'll do our second medium, and again I'm having to really work on getting him back. And then we do a flying change at sea. It was pretty good. A little tight. The funny part is this horse on cross country is very, very rideable because he can gallop to relax. But you can't really do that necessarily in your dressage test. So now we're working on our half 10-meter circle and our canter half pass. I was actually very proud of him here because the tractor was going by. That could have been a very good excuse for Johnny to have a Johnny movement, but he held it together and then did a flying change. Now we do our stretchy circle on the canter, and you see I gave him a pat again. That's just to really elicit that deep breath of him to get him to relax. And for him, he did a really good job. He actually didn't change the speed in the canter, and of course we could have had more reach through his neck and his back and his nose and reaching for the connection, but I was really happy with the obedience that he gave me. So now I do my second half pass at the canter. He's pretty good at these. You can see really he bends around, shoulder is leading with the hind end following through, and now we do another change. And his right to left change is a touch hard, so you saw he kind of was together in the back end, and we were a little early for that. But as a rider, sometimes you have to, he basically did it on his own, and you're better off kind of taking that risk of, okay, this is going to happen early versus trying to correct it and hold it, and then your horse gets tense, and then you blow completely the movement. So now we go down the center line, trying to keep him straight, drop down to the trot. He's gotten much better about that. And then we go to the halt, nice and square, and he halts for me. And I was actually really happy with his test. Very, very good. It's our best test to date at Rocking Horse. And for his cross country, I was really happy to just kind of let him gallop along and do a nice breeze for this run. He felt amazing. He was very, very good. Didn't pull. Really was just at the edge of my fingertips. So I was really happy with how he's feeling, especially over the first couple of jumps. He's always ready to go. This is his favorite, definitely favorite phase. So now we come to a big table. This rode in around 7 to 8 strides, and then you do a log on top, and then to an angled coops, and it's super easy. He read that so nicely. All I had to do was just sit up with my body. I like to teach my horses to really adjust to my body so I don't have to pull. Now this is interesting. I had a bit of a brain fart because I thought I had missed a fence. So I look back and then I realized that I didn't, and I kept jumping because I didn't see the other fence. But I still had this momentary panic of, I think I missed a fence. Through the sunken road, he was foot perfect. Really one of the best cross country horses I've ever ridden. Now we come to a big white rail fence. I see it off the gallop stride. I just sit up, have his balance right, and he can ping it right out of stride. Very easy. Now this next combination was in the water. It walked a 6 to a 4. I ended up doing the ad because he actually jumped pretty steep in, and then I was a little far to the left, so I just squeaked in another stride, and then we did the 4 to the cabin, and then I believe it was a bending 5 or 6. I think we did 6 there to the out. So I was pretty proud of him, and he is very happy. You can see his ears are forward, and he is ready for the next fence. The next fence is another table. Pinged it right out of stride. So he had a great run, only a couple of time faults, and I was super happy with how he felt. So for this show jump, you'll notice the video is a little far away. This was done on the iPhone. Sometimes our times get a little tight, but we do have video, so that's good. He felt really good. He was jumping nice and round. I think our homework is starting to really pay off with how he's changing his shape and jumping over the fences, and I really feel like he's getting a lot stronger. One thing about this course, I was a little off in my distances, so I would be a little deep and then a little long, and sometimes that makes him a little more frantic. So I wasn't as smooth as I had been in the past. So then he just gets a touch more animated with me. But he's still jumping really nicely, and he's trying to be very careful. So then we come to this in and out. Jumps that pretty well. Now, interestingly, this next line that happens about halfway through, I wear a back brace to help my back. And my back brace started to let go, and it started to distract me. So I had to make a decision on whether I was going to take it off or leave it. And so I decided to pull it off and just throw it out of the way. And then, because I came to this turn to the Swedish Oxer. But in doing that, I kind of lost his balance, and he swapped. And then I ended up having that rail. So that was unfortunate. And then we had an in and out. He jumped that great. And then we come around to the last fence. So it really was an unfortunate rail, but I was happy with how he felt, and he jumped amazing, and we ended up third.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Come here. Tai-Tai. Tai-Tai. Tyler, come here. Come on. Oh, you're free.